Hi guys, I'm Mrs Jarman and I'm going to give you a hand with your art homework. This term in lessons we're going to be exploring the elements of art. So we have line, tone, texture, shape, form, space and colour. That is actually going to be next term. So we're going to focus on the first 6. So each of the homeworks is going to be connected to one of the elements of art to give you a little bit more practice. So you're going to be given a booklet. If you can keep this nice and neat and tidy and not folded in half, that would be amazing. So you're going to put your name and class at the top. Then we're going to write down what you do well and what you need to improve on each homework. So the first week we are focusing on line. So what is the definition of a line? Now I'm going to put this on Inspire for you to have a look at. So the definition of a line is a pathway between 2 points. That should sound quite familiar. We've been doing this in lesson. So defining features. A line defines the edge of a shape. It can vary in width, direction and length. Examples. Line quality can be described as thick, thin, long, short, dashed, continuous, tapered lines. So we've given you a few examples in this box here, and we should have done some in your sketchbook as well at school. Okay, so first of all, you're going to fill in this section looking at the sheet. So I'm going to give you a bit of a guide. So what is a line? A pathway between 2 points. Describe a line, so you can describe it by its length, width and direction. So all of that information can be found on this sheet, here and here. Okay, now each of the homeworks is linked to an artist. So this artist is called Pablo Picasso. So he was famous for a lot of things, one of which was drawing continuous line drawings. So if you'd like to Google his name and find some more examples of these drawings, you are more than welcome. So today we're going to fill this box up here with leaves. So if we read the instructions, draw as many leaves as you can, use lots of different line qualities. So I need to see thin lines, thick lines, dark lines, light lines, like we've been doing in lesson with your feathers. So first of all, you're going to get a leaf. So I've got a few different leaves and you can use it as a template. So I'm just using, I think it's a 2B pencil. You're going to use it as a template and you're going to draw around the leaf. So that is step number 1. Okay, so we have a leaf. So I'm just going to put this back on. Now I need to draw these veins. So they kind of are a little bit bumpy and you can see that they're a different colour. So I'm going to practice with my pencil just on top of the leaf. I'm not really touching it, how that shape is going to go. And then when I move the leaf away with my other hand, I can put that in the same place. So you can probably see I didn't move this hand around like this. I tried to keep it still. So if you're struggling to look at your leaf and to draw the veins, so I'm going to do this one next. So I'm having a practice, moving it away, and then I'm just continuing the motion again and again. Now you are more than welcome to put the leaf here, like we did in lesson, and just draw it out yourself. So if you think you can do that and you don't need to trace the shape, then that is absolutely fine. So I'm going to be using my looking skills to just put in these smaller veins and the details. So my eyes are looking here, they're following the shape of what I am seeing. Okay, now it might take you a little bit longer than that to draw your leaf out, but that's the basic idea. So we're just going to check the criteria at the bottom of the sheet. So it says, I know the definition of a line, so that's up here, so I've done that. Next one, I can draw leaves with different shapes. So I have got another couple of leaves just out to the side here that I'm just going to draw their shape. So I'm just going to get on with one more. And perhaps this is my pumpkin leaf. I'm going to put it here and I'm just going to get that shape down as well. So I'm just drawing the basic shapes at the moment. So this shouldn't take too long just to get that down. probably easier with leaves that are a little bit flatter. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on 3 leaves, but what I want you to do is to use the leaves again and really fill up that box. Okay, so I'm going to focus on this one. So I'm going to trust that you guys can draw enough leaves on here beautifully that are really going to fill that space in. Because I'm sure you don't want to watch me drawing quite so many leaves, so they're all going to be the same as this one. Now if you would like to carry on using pencil, that is absolutely fine. If that's how you feel comfortable, that is fine. So with a pencil, you are going to press harder if you want it to be a darker line. So I'm just going to get this back in here so you can see it. So if you want to do things darker, you can. So we are aiming for here thin lines and thick lines, dark lines and light lines. So using my pencil, you can't really see, but I'm pressing harder where I want it to go darker. So I'm tensing up my arm a little bit more. So I'm not going to make it all dark because I need light as well. So some of the lines are going to be light and some of them are going to be a little bit darker. So this vein in the middle, I can notice it's a bit thicker, so I've done it a bit thin. So I'm building that up by going over the top, making it into a thicker line. And now I'm looking, if you see all these details and patterns, I'm really zooming my eyes in. This time I'm not putting much pressure on and I'm doing it quite softly. Okay, so check I've done what I'm supposed to have done. So I've drawn the shape, I've used a thick line, yeah, I've used a thin line, yeah, I've got a dark one, and then I've got some light ones. So that is really what you are going to do on all of these different leaves. What do you do if you want a bit of a challenge? So I'm going to bring my pumpkin leaf back. Now, if I'm going to have a challenge, I might actually draw this in pen. I'm just going to put that underneath. So I might just draw this in pen like we did with the feathers. So this is called a biro pen. So it works exactly the same way as your pencil has just worked. So you can press harder or softer to create different tones. The same way that a pencil works. So if you'd like to draw the veins out in pencil again, exactly like you did here, and then maybe have a go at going over the top, that would be good. Okay, now I'm just going to detail a small area just to show you what to do. So I'm really looking in at how these veins come off the bigger vein and split into smaller ones. And this leaf has got a lot of these patterns. So you can see some of them are darker, some of them are lighter. I'm pressing harder and softer as I go. Now I have noticed I've done the edge a little bit neat. So it's a little bit bumpier. Okay, now once you've done that one, you are going to fill this whole space up with lots of leaves, and I am going to put an example on for you to look at. Then I'd like you to have another read at the bottom just to check and to tick off that you've done everything. So that needs to be handed in next lesson. Good luck, and have a look at the example that I'm going to put on Inspire.